So let's fast forward to your junior year. Obviously,
Yeah.
you were a top 10 pick, but how did that season go? What do you remember about that season?
The season was tragic. I mean, we started. I think we started off 1-5, 1-5, and we knew we had a hot team. We knew we could win the ACC. Like we knew it, but we just had so many personalities. You know what I'm saying? So many different personalities, man. And we had a bunch of young cats because we were going through the sanctions from the.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have the scholarships. We didn't have we didn't have those go-getter athletes. We had a bunch of, we had a bunch of people that we could get to college, like walk on and stuff, because we had scholarships. And nobody wanted to really come to Carolina at that time, you know what I'm saying, which was cool. They gave other people opportunities, which I was cool with. So we was going through that era, and we started off 1-5, man. And then I think we just had a team in, like, we really gonna go out like this. I told them straight up, I was leaving. I was like, I'm gonna let y'all know this is my last year. Like, this is not how I want to go out at Carolina. I told y'all how we could do this. Our quarterback stepped up. A few other players, Trey Boston, Jabari at that time, who were our leaders, and we were just like, this is not how we're gonna go about it. I think we ended up winning the next 6-7 straight games to go to a bowl game.
Okay.
It was just dominating.
Started clicking.
Week after week. I was just doing something crazy. Week after week, doing something crazy. It was like I was on ESPN like every week. And it was like, man, this dude here. And I wasn't really paying attention to like the hype. I was just loving the fact that we was winning. So the fact that we was winning with my brothers, like I still talk to them to this day, it was no better feeling. That was like my junior year. And I'll replay that year every year of football.
Yeah. Well, sure. Since you already knowing that you're gonna leave after your junior year, like, so after your junior year, your bowl game, like what were you hearing as far as like draft wise? Like, did you already?
I knew I was the number one pick, but they was like, are you gonna sit out the bowl game? Are you gonna sit out the bowl game? I'm like, hell nah. I just worked so hard to get to a bowl game. I'm gonna play in and enjoy it. We were one game in to win. We had to win our very last game to go to the bowl game. We did that. I was like, man, I'm gonna enjoy this with my homies. Now I didn't practice none that week, but I played in that game.
Dude, wow. I practiced none that week. This boy tripping. So you went out, man. You went out and did that, and now, you finish your college career on a high note. Especially individually, you handle everything in between that process. But going into the draft, like you knew you were number one tight end on the board. Where did you expect to go? Was it any teams that hit you? It was like, yo, if you're there at here, I'm gonna take you. How did that go?
I thought I was going to Tampa. They picked Mike Evans. I heard it was like a coin flip. Ebron. I was cool with Mike, my dog.
What was that at pick? What, 7?
When you go to the draft with your homies, you kind of build a relationship with that like group of guys. So like,
is Mike, he from Carolina too, right?
No, Mike from Texas.
Texas.
Okay.
So I'm like, cool. Jadavion was the first overall pick that year. I've been playing Jadavion since high school, so that was like my dog. So like the draft was also filled with like a bunch of your friends, the era of people which you played with.
Yeah.
Detroit told me if I was there at 10, they was gonna pick me at 10. They called me. I remember I had tapped my mom. I'm like, anybody from Michigan? Like, at this time, I'm not thinking I'm really at the draft. I'm looking at my phone like, who the hell calling me at this time?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who this is. Let me pick up. I get drafted to Detroit.
How was that feeling?
That was. I went from here to like here in my football. Yeah,
that's a huge moment, right? That's a huge moment.
It was a huge moment, especially for like the history of tight ends. Yeah,
I was about to say that was
another gateway for us. Like that was cool. Like show that we were worth some value. We are valuable, and we are mismatched. We are a useful piece in the offense. So that was kind of like my coming out year. But then. You get drafted to Detroit, and it's tough, man. It's tough, especially when you're young and a little immature, like I was. Yeah. Like I only played 2 years really of high school football, 3 years of college football. Here I am as a professional athlete. I'm still kind of young in the game.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready for Detroit. Detroit wasn't ready for
And you a first round pick. A top 10 pick at that. So it's high expectations, from everybody in the building, from obviously the front office to the locker room. When you walk in, you take somebody. Yeah.
You don't understand that as a 20-year-old getting drafted. You don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
You're not even 21 yet.
I'm not even 21. I think I just turned 21. Our year was the year they pushed the draft back to May.
Okay.
Y'all remember that?
Okay.
It was mad weird. We had competing with the Oscars had moved up or something.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that.
Yeah, May that year. So I had just turned 21, but I was supposed to be before. Man, if I like I said to my wife sometime, be like, man, if I could do Detroit all over again with the shit that I knew now. Sorry for cutting.
No, you good. No,
you're in the locker room.
Yeah.
For the shit that I knew now, if I could do Detroit all over again, I would. But I was not mentally ready for the 10th overall going into. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's the biggest thing you would do over though? Like, what's the number one or top two things you would do over?
I just be more mature about my business. I would study the game a little bit more. I would do all of that. I really didn't understand that until like my third, fourth year in the league. You know what I'm saying? So I would give it more. I would give it more at the beginning. I feel like you get it now, you grow, you understand, your routine, your process, the things that make you work now going into 8 years. But if I could do it all over again, that'd probably be it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we athletes, we grown ass men, we take responsibility and accountability for the shit we do. But at the same time, for a young guy like that coming in with those expectations, like it's also important that you come into a good environment, or you come into an environment where it's a certain structure there, and it's going to be.
That's not my place. But
yeah, because you know what I mean. I like I said, you obviously got to take your responsibility, but bringing that on, you got to do your research on the player, knowing what type of guy you bringing in, knowing what he may need, and put him in a position to succeed. Because I'm thinking, if I'm a tight end, I'm going there. I got Stafford. I know we're gonna throw the ball. We never run the damn ball.
But look. So I get drafted into the situation where Megatron is our number one. They bring in Golden Tate. So Golden Tate's number two. We have forgot who our other receiver was. Then we got Reggie Bush in the backfield.
Reggie Bush.
And then they re-signed Brandon Pettigrew. So I'm already looking like I'm option 4. Like I come from Carolina being that dog to option 4. Whatever, because Megatron is C10.
Them some options though. There's some options right there.
Golden Tate with 99 catches that year. I'm like, damn.
He is stick moving.
What y'all want me to do?
And Golden Tate yak is crazy.
Ridiculous. The Golden Tate was snapping. I think he had like 99 catches, 1,100 yards. He was snapping. That was his Pro Bowl year. I'm like, how did y'all expect me to come in this and flourish any kind of way? Like, I'm sitting 4th string. You tell me come sit down. I'm like, you should have left me out there. Like, I didn't come here to sit down. I didn't, go to the draft to come sit down. I came to do something. So you mentally already like messed with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm already so the fact that I'm not playing, I'm not thinking about football. I'm like, elsewhere. You gave a 20-year-old all this money and told him, "Here, just sit down and not play. Learn." And I'm like, learn how? Like this? I'm red-shirted. Like I might as well go do my thing.
Travel. And what you deal with a lot of young cats deal with, especially coming into it. Once we learn, and now you're fortunate enough to where you're talented enough to where you got other opportunities and you had that time to learn and pick up things along the way. A lot of guys, they don't figure that out. Year 2, year 3, they out of there.
For sure.
So that's a blessing. But you